All right, what's up, team? Good to see you guys tonight. I'm sorry I didn't get a video out. Let me make sure that we're... All right, we're good to go. We're good to go. I just want to make sure we had sound and all that good stuff. Um, Whoa, what happened here? Oh, because there's no volume and stuff. I changed it. How you guys doing tonight? I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. Thank you guys for joining us. Been a really hectic weekend. Not really hectic, just getting stuff done. Getting a lot of stuff done. Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys find this information valuable, like, share, subscribe. I got a lot of big stuff for you guys. A lot of big ideas, a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of charts, a lot of trade ideas, a lot of analysis. Guys, this market is insane. I would put this market up to any other market that there is where it has not been this jam-packed. I mean, every week it's like we have a catalyst. Every week we've had a catalyst. I mean, you see how the markets have moved. I mean, the S&P is, again, CPIs went down. The economists have gotten the CPI numbers in line. That we had the Russia invasion, stage one. Well, not stage one, but that's the first downside. Russia invaded Ukraine. What happened? CPI, inflation. All right, CPI, PPI, estimates were way off. The economists could not get it right at all. We've gotten that under control. CPI looks control. I still want to see another month, if not two. But I really am curious about this July's reading. It may tick up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it ticks up a little bit. I would actually expect it to at least year over year. Now, how they run it nominally may impact it. So we may not see a... it's like what I'm getting at is, if you guys were in the markets last year, how we had, boom, we had like our first 8, and then we had like a downtick, all right, and then boom, it was like August or September where we had our peak. So I want to see on that pullback if, but prices seem to be staying the same. Getting that out of the way, you have a lot of data and stuff. So my goal here is to have a place for people to be able to go to ask questions about trading, reading data, questions about their own trades, wanting to learn to read a chart, whatever, what have you. This is why we're here, to give you guys education, real education. I've been doing this for 6 or 7 years, and I know what I'm doing for the most part. All right, I'm not always going to be right, but I'm going to be right more than I am wrong. All right, so with that said, the main goal, the main thing everyone needs to worry about is risk management. What is risk management? How do you do it? Well, it comes in all shapes and all kinds of sizes if you're new. All right, whether that's position sizes, whether that's putting on hedges, okay, whether that is there's just all kinds of ways. There's all kinds of ways, get your entries, timing your entries, buying when you should and shorting when you should, exiting in winning positions as it's getting to your targets, trusting the levels. I have something for you guys tonight. How many people do we have on here? I'm just curious to see. It's not showing too many because I want to ask you guys. I have something here before I get into it all, and it's actually really cool. I heard it. I heard it over the weekend, and I'm like, I have to say it. So I want you to ask yourself, all right, why is it, and I want you to, would hopefully that you do, stop looking at what you lost. Stop looking at what you lost. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by stop looking at what you lost? Let's just give an example. Let's say, because people and traders, everyone does it all the time. Dang it, I sold too soon. I sold too soon. Okay? What I wrote down here was if you're looking at a stock you profited from and say, oh, whatever, bleep, I sold too early, which is looking at something you lost, which was potential profitability. More of the stock doing what you were in it for it to be doing, whether that's you didn't trust your levels, you're new, and that's okay. All right, now and I'm going to tie this in. Okay, you're looking at something. Why is it we look at something we lost? And I just said, if you just joined us, the question was, or the statement. What I'm telling you, stop looking at what you lost. All right, and what do I mean by that? I just gave the example of everyone likes to look at when they're trading, whatever, they're long term, whatever it is. You buy a stock, you're trading a stock. All right, it's going. You sell and you say, damn it, I shouldn't have sold. I took two profits too early, blah, blah, blah. You're looking at what you lost. And what you lost in that example is more of a return, potentially. Now, who's to say it couldn't have reversed? But you just, as humans, psychologically, we look at what's already happened. But you didn't know this prior. You were managing risk, and you look at it as I should have not taken profit. Okay, I should have taken profit here because it's already laid it out for you. But we can educate when the psychology around all this, trusting your levels. How do you even know what level's important and not important? How? So hold on. The other part to this is, so when a stock, let's say you're short or you're long a stock, bond, whatever it is, currency, I don't care. When you're short or you're long, when you're long and then you're taking profits, and then whether it's headline risk that we're all in. If you don't know, I'm telling you right now, we're still in headline risk. Something can come through the wire like that and your positions have reversed. That's why you need to manage risk. Again, you're long, you took profits, boom, it reverses. Reverses in a big way. And what do? You look at it and say, man, I'm glad I took profits. I'm glad I took profits on that. Instead of looking at what you could have obviously lost, you don't look at it. You're psychologically looking at it as I took profits. I didn't lose money. Look at the stock go down, right? And then on the upside, you're taking profits, and then you're looking at the stock. You're out of your position. You sold. You bought 1,000 shares. You tiered them out, and it's still going. Oh, I sold too soon. And you're looking at what you lost, which was the potential profit, or the potential of you losing money, but you made money onto the downside when you took profits on the way up, and then right after a couple minutes, boom, it reverses, and you still look at it as, man, I'm so glad I got out of it. Look at it now. So, with that said, I want you guys to think about that. I want you to think about that because, see, I wrote this down and I should have read it off here. So, again, this is looking at what you lost. So, you have to stop looking at what could have been. Focus on what is. Okay? It's so powerful. Start looking at what you did right. Because psychologically, you automatically go to the stock still running, but you don't focus on what you did. You did your job. You took profits on the way up. You ran out of shares, whatever, what have you. You made money, but you don't look at it like that. I need you to start looking at it like that. You have to focus on what you did right. And you obviously want to focus on what you did wrong when you go through trades. But in the spur of the moment, do not just remember what I'm saying. Remember this. Stop looking at what you lost. Because what that means is when, again, you've taken profits, you've ran out of shares, whatever, and the stock's still going, you're looking at a loss of more potential profits instead of focusing on you making the money you needed to make. You locked it in. You made it yours. Okay? You did your job. Now the greed or whatever starts getting to you. Okay? And then again, when it reverses, you've taken profit and it reverses, and you say, man, I'm glad I got out of that. Instead of, I did my job. So psychologically, guys, this really hits if you think about it. So stick to your levels, manage your risk. You're long, you're taking profits as it's going up at your targets. You got to have targets. I have targets. Okay? Don't watch the tick, the tick, the tick, the tick. You need a 5 minute, you need a 3 minute, hell, you need a 15 minute, or get more time. Okay? The levels are there for a reason, and there's a psychological reason why those levels are there. Okay? There's a big reason on why support breaks, it becomes resistance. Resistance breaks, it becomes, support. So, there's a psychological reason with all this. So you have people down here, right? You have people down here. Let's just say we're down here. I'm right here. How about this? I'm right here, right? I'm right here. I bought. I sold it right around here because I thought we were coming into resistance, right? I don't know if you guys can see my screen or see this. I'm buying right here. It bounces. I'm a buyer, okay? I'm locking in profit all the way up, taking a piece on extensions, taking a piece, and I'm out of my position. And then boom, look at that candle. Pulls back, goes higher. What happens? The stock pulls in psychologically. What happens? This was resistance, right? Stock breaks through it. It pulls back. What's going to happen here? Everybody that was long said, man, I sold too early. The stock went higher. They're going to get back in. That's why resistance breaks, it becomes support. You have to picture order flow and the psychology that goes around these levels if nobody's really explained that to you. All right? If I'm long and I'm taking profits all the way up, boom, it breaks. I don't know if people are just joining or what. But again, I want you guys to remember this one. If you have to go back, watch it. Stop looking at what you lost. And it doesn't mean you lost money, this and that. No, that's not what it means. Okay? Stop. What that means is the most basic sense, and you could tear it down how you want and think about it because it's really powerful. Stop looking at you being long, taking profits, and then saying, man, it went higher, I shouldn't have sold. Because you're looking at what you lost as in the potential profits that it still gave you. No, start looking at what you did right. You had a winning trade. Guys. Like, share, and subscribe. All right, what are we going to do tonight? We're going to go through earnings. Okay, we have earnings. We have another volatile week, guys. I'm so excited for this week. Again, it's like it has like never end, and it's the summertime. Who would have thought? Who'd have thought we got this kind of volatility? Fun fact, okay, 7% decline is forecasted by the analyst. A 7% decline in earnings from last year is expected for these earnings. So we'll see how that turns out. So far, so good. I think it's about 6% of the S&P has reported. But we're going to get into the thick of it quick. We have some little headlines here with United Airlines. It says that the pilots reached a preliminary deal United Airlines pilots reached a deal with the company to have a pay hike of 40% over 4 years. So the pilots are getting a raise. And I forget, Delta Airlines. One other company had already done it. So you might want to just, we have earnings, so you can, if you want, you don't have to. But look at United Airlines, see what that does. Maybe stock comes down. Company that's more coming out of the company to go to the workers. How does that affect the stock? That's just, opportunity. Want to keep it on your radar. Sony signed a 10-year agreement with Microsoft to keep Call of Duty on its PlayStation games, on its consoles. So that happened as well over the weekend. There's probably some political news, possibly, maybe not. There's probably some more. I watched Bloomberg for a little bit and didn't really catch anything that stuck out as I was making dinner. So we're gonna go through my watch list. We're gonna go through what I think's gonna happen this week. I don't know what's gonna happen this week. I can tell you that I feel like depending on I don't even know. It depends. Like these banks that come out tomorrow, it's gonna have to be pretty bad, or like I want to see PNC. I'm just bringing it up here. Um, Let me just bring it up. So tomorrow after the close. Now, as far as anticipated earnings, tomorrow we have First Bank and CrossFit. Oh, come on now. Sorry, I'm using this monitor here. CrossFit Bank and First Bank. I would like to see what First Bank has to say. Tuesday morning, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Lockheed Martin. Guys, nobody has said this. You're going to hear it first. Has any of you guys taken a look at the earnings that we're getting this week? Like, really looked at it and visualize what it's giving you. Guys, you literally have just about you have like major companies out of every sector. You literally are getting the market in a whole this week. That's why I think this week's still going to be big. You have banks, you have technology, you have credit, insurance, Progressive, American Express, Schlumberger, okay, SAP, Nokia, American Airlines. Like, you have semiconductors, Taiwan Semiconductors, Tesla, Netflix, IBM, Crown Castle, Alcoa, Industrials, Metals, okay? I think there was a downgrade on that possibly. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I don't think it was a downgrade, but it was doing all right. It had a nice little rally there, I think. You're getting also, I think the only one I don't see right now, which I'm sure you still might be getting, you're getting JB Hunt, which that doesn't really move. ASML, Goldman Sachs. We're going to go through it, but I just wanted to give you guys, like, nobody has really said anything, but you get FinTech, Ally. You get FinTech. Like, you're getting the majority of the market this week. Now, it's not Google, Microsoft, Apple. It's not AMD. It's not NVIDIA. But it still gives you... I mean, it's Taiwan Semiconductors, ASML. Like, it's giving you Capital One, PPG. Like, that's not Procter & Gamble. So, it's giving you a lot. I'm just trying to think here because, to me, it feels like we're getting, defensive. Okay, Lockheed Martin, like I said. You're getting these earnings from every sector this week, guys. So I expect as this market starts getting to the end of the week, obviously with ASML, Tesla, Netflix, IBM, Wednesday's really going to be the day. Well, really, we'll say Thursday. And what do I say about Thursdays? If you guys are new here, please like, share, and subscribe if you could. If you find this information valuable. We have trade ideas. We're going to go over some of these earnings. And what I'm going to do also, if you don't know, we're going to cover earnings here on this live. We're going to be on the call. All right. I'm going to take time during the day, possibly the lunchtime. All right. Depending how the market. See, tomorrow, I'm just wondering if the market just trades sideways. I don't know if we have a real catalyst to get things moving. Maybe Tuesday, we get an anticipation of Wednesday. Possibly, or does that anticipation of Wednesday night lead Wednesday? So I would expect the markets to kind of, not do too much. I wouldn't expect it to do too much. We don't have hardly any earnings Monday. So the S&Ps, so just look for the daily range on the S&Ps on what we did Friday. And take notice on Friday that we sold off at lunch and sold off pretty good. All right, I was in a Tesla trade. I think I traded Tesla like 3-4 times. I meant to get rid of these lines, guys. I worked on my charts and got rid of a lot of the lines that I didn't need right this minute to clear these charts up. I forgot the SPY. I'm sorry. I apologize. I can always use futures, which I was just using. So I would look now. I could use the daily candle for you, but maybe we test 447. Maybe we test this pivot high right here, guys. Maybe we test this pivot high finally. We come down, maybe we catch a quick scalp up here to turn this back into resistance. So 447, I'm going to be long to 448.50. That's a $1.50 move in the SPY. Doesn't mean it has to hold, but I know my risk to reward here is great. I know if I'm long right here for a scalp, for a 20-minute trade, a half-hour trade, 2 hours, whatever, however long it takes, I'm going to trust my levels because we are not going to look at what we lost. All right. So I know if I buy it here, if I buy it right here and I'm buying it as it's coming in, and I'm also not just buying it. Don't, that does not mean for you to just go buy it. Please read the disclaimer. What that means is I'm going to use my tools. I'm going to be reading level 2. I'm going to be reading time and sales. Okay. If you guys don't know how to do that, we can help teach you that here. All right. That's our goal. We're here to help educate, have a place that traders can come to, ideas, talk about trades. You know, you want to enter a trade, say, hey, what do you guys see? Maybe ask the chat, ask me what I think about it, and then you gauge from there. It's good to have somebody else's opinion because trading is lonely. It really is. All right, it really is. And there's got to be a place that you don't have to pay a whole bunch of money to not only pay a bunch of money, but they don't care about you. They have no respect for your time. They say they're there all day. Are they there all day? You don't hear from them. You hear from them maybe half hour, 45 minutes throughout the whole day. All right, and then you got to sit through upsells the whole time. No. Let's come get to work, guys. We're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4 right here on YouTube. IvyLeagueTradingYouTube.com. So I know if I'm long right here, and look at this tail here, pre-market. That's pre-market too. But I'm a buyer here. What? I give it, again, we do this all the time. 447. What? I'm going to give it 25 cents to make $1.50. That's like, I don't know. I'm just going to make a guess. It's over 5 to 1. 25 cents to make $1.50. Hello. This is how you stay in the game. I don't anticipate, and again, I'm going to use my tools. So I know with the readings and stuff that I use, all right, if you don't know with what your volt is, your volt ratio and your advanced decline line, I would highly suggest using this. All right, we can teach you all about it. I do have a couple of videos I've been working on and we're going to drop them. You guys are going to be excited. The first video I think is really going to be it's going to be huge, and I think it's going to help you and your account. I really do. If you use it appropriately, if you listen to what I said, and even if you have to go back to it, maybe you hear it, maybe play it back at least 2-3 times, because there may be pieces that you missed, just like a movie. You watch a movie back, you're like, oh shit, I didn't get that time. Oh, I didn't hear that, or I didn't see that last time. All right, and even so on and so forth, a place where you can come to 6 months, 3 months down the road and say, hey, let me go back and let me watch this, because time goes on. You kind of just, you just need to regroup. I still do it. I still go over the basics that I have on my playbooks. If you guys don't have a playbook or know what it is, you're in the right place. So I still have some big news too. All right. But again, that video is going to be nice. I should have it out. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to work on it because we have earnings. And again, like I said, we're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. We're going to have all these earnings on here. All right, we're going to be on the earnings calls. That way we get a gauge of what these top CEOs and corporate America is saying about the future. Is it still uncertainty? I'm sure it is. All right, the big news is going to come in. I'm going to give it to you now, guys. But again, long, short, for a move. You got a double bottom here on Friday. Let's see if we break the lows. So what I will look for in the playbook has, a playbook is like a roadmap, because stocks can only trade so many different ways. And it looks like we might, but this sell-off here really, it had a little bit of volume behind it. All right. So we'll see. I'm just going to say if we get a gap up tomorrow, depending on the gap up, I want to see, because if we get a gap up, then that's going to be in the playbook, guys. And if you don't know what that is, members know. Members had a great week last week. We had an all right week last week. It's a little busy, but no excuses. I was on vacation, so I had to get back in the saddle and get things going. So I had to, I had an alright week. It was just, I messed myself up a little bit with Tesla, and I'm not going to be, it's not something that I alerted or anything. It was kind of something I was doing myself. So again, I'm going to go over these. We have, look, again, if we have a gap up tomorrow, All right, let's just say we gap up and we're right here. What am I going to be looking for on the SPY? All right. First, I'm going to see what sectors are doing what pre-market. I'm going to be going over the news. We go over the news and all that. How should we trade it? We get our levels. Is the news good, bad? Does it even mean anything? It may not even be a trade. If we gap up on the SPY tomorrow, like let's say we gap up to 449.50, I'm going to be watching the close and low. All right. I'm going to be watching here and there. All right. Why would I do that? Why am I focused on that? And we could still have an inside day. Just because something's going up and something's going down doesn't mean it's a long or a short, guys. You guys need to learn to get on momentum. And that's the video I'm going to be putting out. You're going to like it. You're going to love it, actually. All right, because if you use it, you will see the success. You will see it if you just listen and do as said, and don't have any of the psychological issues or sizing up to where you can't handle it because you're seeing too many. It's just going. You know how it is when you size up. You get some numbers that fly through that screen, especially on options. All right, so I'm going to be watching for the low and the close of Friday for the S&Ps. If we gap below it, then obviously we've gapped below it. I'm actually going to reverse that and still look for the low or close to be resistance and not support. All right? Because until something look at this volume going into the end of the day, guys. They bought the dip. They're still buying the dip. They don't want to miss this rally. So I'm not going to make any plans. But again, I still think we have an inside day. I don't think we're not going to have a 1-2% day, Monday or Tuesday. You have Tesla, Netflix, ASML, Goldman Sachs on Wednesday. Now, does something crazy happen with Bank of America? Probably not. It would have already happened with JP Morgan. All right, but I am going to want to see Bank of America. I'm going to be on that call. Charles Schwab and PNC. Those are the three on Tuesday that we're going to have. I'm going to be on those lives, whether we do it at lunchtime, maybe even BNY Mellon. Now, that's a lot to go through. I do want to listen to Interactive Brokers, which is Tuesday. We'll go through some of these. We can go through, Bank of America's and possibly we'll do Charles Schwab. We'll go through Bank of America. We'll get our levels for that and Charles Schwab because those are the two that are going to be the most liquid. And, liquidity is important. It really plays a factor on top of paying commissions, the spread. Getting in and, hitting the bid. If you can hit the ask to get out, that's good. That's great. Let's see here. So, as I said, we have the whole market almost. I just think we're missing healthcare. So ASML on Wednesday, Goldman Sachs, Netflix, Tesla on Wednesday after the close. You have the NASDAQ, M&T Bank, Northern Trust, Citizens Bank. You have FinTech, Ally. Ally's a FinTech company. You have Alcoa, which is a steel maker, I think. I think they do steel, or do they do copper? Anyway, they're a material company, an industrial company. Banks, industrial tech, Tesla, Netflix, IBM, so on and so forth. Equifax, UAL, we have airlines, United Airlines. You have Rexford Industrial, Taiwan Semiconductor, so there's a semiconductors. You have railroads, which it would obviously go with JB Hunt in a sense. It's distribution. Capital One. So these are, we got a pretty hot list the first week to start, and we're going to see what sectors, and this is what you're going to want to pay attention to. What sectors aren't doing good? Which ones are lowering guidance? Which ones are raising guidance? Which ones are missing? Which ones are beating? All right? Are they missing expectations? Are they beating expectations? What's the bottom line? We want to know what the bottom line is. We have Halliburton. So there's our energy. We literally have the whole sector other than healthcare, I think. We might even have healthcare here, guys. D.R. Horton, we have real estate. Do you guys see what I'm getting at? This earnings, now they're not the leaders. Some of them are the leaders. Blackstone, Tesla's a leader. Netflix is a leader. That's it doesn't get any bigger than that. I mean, it does, but they are the cream of the crop. So American Express. I'm honestly, literally just trying to look on here to see healthcare, and we have Johnson and Johnson, and there it is. So we have the whole sector. We have the whole market this week. Nobody's talking about that. See if they talk about that. See if you guys see anybody else talk about that. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the charts. Let's get the business, guys. Let's get the business. If you didn't hear me earlier, I said analysts. This is from FactSet, by the way. FactSet had put this out. Analysts are forecasting a more than 7% decline in S&P earnings from 1 year ago. Okay? And so far, so good. 6% of the S&P has reported and has beaten. So as of right now, we have no reason to go down. There's no recession. Fed's not cutting rates. Earnings aren't bad. That's it. So I would just do earnings aren't bad, no recession. That's it. All right? There's not a comment, I don't think. Let me not say that because then there'll be a freaking comment. Anyway, if you don't know, we're live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4 here on YouTube, guys. IvyLeagueTradingYouTube.com. And hit the like, hit the share. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We're going to get into some trade ideas. We're going to say where we want to enter, where we want to exit, if this, then that. And if you guys have any tickers you guys want to mention, please throw them in the chat. All right? We're here. You have somebody that's been trading for 6-7 years, does it full time. Ask me anything. If it's a trade idea, if it's a ticker you want to go over, anything. Why will this not move? Sorry, I just had to move this. So if you guys, again, have any tickers, questions, anything, throw them in the chat. Let's do it. So let's look at the Qs real quick. Let's go to futures. I think futures are about flat, just a little down. All right, looks like they're putting in a double top. What did I say? What did I just say I was looking for? Are you guys hearing me? I said if we got below the double bottom from Friday, the Friday's lows, what's it doing right now? It doesn't mean we can't wake up and there still be a gap up, guys. But it is, look, it's turning it into resistance. This is why you need to come in chat, guys. You guys need to get in chat. It's free 99. Free 99. All right? Hang out. If you're at work, guys, I give my trade alerts. All right? I give my trade alerts. If you're new and don't understand things, you have access. You have a way to get a hold of me, the chat, for any help. Whatever it is, psychology, with the market, just what is it that you're struggling with, or what is it that you want to know? All right. Let me take a drink. Let's see what the Qs are doing so we can get an idea of what the market's doing, because that's going to give me, at least for me, because I've been doing this for a while, that I kind of know, and I want to see what the Nasdaq's doing, because if I know what the Nasdaq's doing, and I can see what side is it. Let me just here we go. What is it? YM, I think. Let's see if small caps are down. They may not be because of the banks. And what is this? This is the Dow. Shit. So yeah, see, this is making a lower high. Is it RT? Do you guys know what that is? Do you guys know what the IWM future is? So I don't have to look it up. RTY maybe? There it is. I got it. So, yeah, the small, look at this chart though. So the IWM doesn't look too bad. Why is this? So I want you guys to understand what's going on. What's been going on? We've had big tech cap rally. Big tech rally. What's been going up next? I've went through this before, guys. Let's look at DraftKings, DKNG. Nope. Or we could look at look at DraftKings, guys. Look at this. All right. I bought, I think my average probably was around $18, and I sold it 70s and high 60s. I think my average sell was like 68, 69. So and that was when it first came out, came public. So you have, and I'm not going to call them small caps, but like this, like some of these companies, Roblox. Now, what I got to do is go to the daily. What's going on here? This is a broad-based rally, guys. So we've seen the Qs. We've seen the IWM. We've been wondering when they're going to break out, if they're going to break out. Or is this a breakout to fail and we have something happen with this earnings season? I don't know. So you have had big tech rally, whether it's AI. It's not, AI has helped. It's given it the juice. It's gotten the new money. It's definitely helped. I'm not going to say it hasn't. But what really has helped this market healthy and give us a broad-based rally across the board is the fact that CPI has been coming in where what it has been. It's been coming in line. It's coming down, and it's not all over the place. Like the economists are getting it right. It's not like they're expecting 4% increase or decrease. Let's just say they expect a 4% increase and it comes in at 6.5%. That's uncertainty. The market doesn't know what to do to price in. The only thing the market can price in is what it knows, and it knows that the economists are not getting the numbers right. All right? So they've got it right. We're getting a stable market. You've seen volatility get killed. Why? Because inflation has stopped going up for now. Okay? The next thing we will worry about when it gets there, which is the big news, is the recession. All right? And we have said that we're still excited because all you guys have to do, it's the only thing you can do, is go back and look. All right, I can pull it up, but I don't know if you guys want to sit through that or not. Go to Fred.com. We've done it before. We've done it in other videos. Okay, it literally from the peak in interest rates, which would be like now, if we get our 25 basis points, boom, we're at 5.25. All right, and we stay there, and then 1 year later is when the unemployment ticks up 5-6 different times in the past. It happened 2008, 2020, 2008, 2000s, 1989, 1965, something like that. The past is not indicative of the future, but it damn sure makes sense. And where was it in 2008, 2007 when it happened? When they peaked, it was at 5.25. Now, they didn't increase in the pace that they did this time, okay? But still, the one thing that we do have had also is the Fed's balance sheet is still up past $8 trillion. It's just under $9 trillion. So there's still liquidity. All right. They're not selling, and these bonds and securities are not running off their balance sheet, because once they do, that's liquidity leaving the markets, the bond markets, the equity markets, because when the bond market, like you guys have to understand, when the Fed goes to buy securities, it's just like us. Okay. They have the bank or whoever. The market has bonds. They buy the bonds from banks, wherever they get it from, the banks, whoever, I don't know who facilitates the order is what I'm getting at. They give the money to the bondholder. The bondholder gives them a bond. And what's the bondholder do? They're not going to sit cash. You saving cash is not what you need to do. Well, no, I can't say that. People don't say they want to put that money to work. You can say, I need you guys to save money. It's the right thing to do. All right. But the bondholder is going to put that money somewhere else. He's either going to buy more bonds or they're going to buy stock. So that is money in the markets. That's liquidity. That's what you hear when you hear people talk about liquidity. So as the Fed starts to pull, as this stuff starts to run off and they get paid and they do not reinvest it, that is money that's gone. Okay, spreads, credit spreads. You ever heard of credit spreads? Those get impacted. Spreads get wider because there's not liquidity. There's not a ton of buyers and sellers, and you're able to meet and have like a tight market. As the money goes, it gets spread thin. So you have less buyers and less sellers. So that margin of spread gets wider. I think we actually had a contraction of or a tightening of credit spreads just last week. And you can also go, like, this is not with credit spreads or anything. You can also, specs this week. You know what? It was funny because I was, what do you know? Specs this week after the big move. Yeah. You know what's funny? I didn't even get it. There's been so much volatility, like, all over the market. So I've been waiting for small caps to heat up, SPACs, small caps, and I've been in the markets. Like, we've had this mid cap tech which I was getting at. We've put in this long base real quick, and they've put money to work because they've missed the big rally. Where are they going to get it? They're going to get it here. They're going to buy. What else? Where can we put money to work that's on the lows that we don't have to pay up a huge premium for? Here. Now they're going to pick and choose because I'll get into it, but yes, I will be, especially tomorrow. I don't think we have like a huge day tomorrow unless we wake up and have some type of news. And you might have some news on some random company. I will be watching Carvana. I've been watching Carvana and AI. I've been trading the hell out of them. And we've been talking about energy too for the past week and a half that we've been wanting to keep an eye on. But I must see it sucks that I missed that because I didn't even know that happened. I've been in the markets, but I will be there if and when it happens, or I will be watching them. So yes, thanks for that NASCAR all out. Man, I was my parents, and I love NASCAR. Like, I haven't been to one. We used to always go to the race, especially when I was a kid. When it was packed, and it's a shame because like NASCAR nowadays, a lot of the new kids don't go to it and shit. Like, they don't. What's up, Cos, my guy? How you doing? I hope you had a great weekend, bro. Another volatile week, back to back to back. Like, this is nuts, especially in the summertime. But I wish NASCAR was like it still is, but I wish it was like it was back when I was like a kid growing up and going with my parents, with a tent and the campers and being on the campers and stuff like that. Going on to the display. CTX merges tomorrow. Thank you, NASCAR. I owe you. I'm gonna write it down. And if I trade it, you can join us, NASCAR. Here we're live Monday through Friday. YouTube.com. We trade live here. We, as in me. I'm hoping to get a couple people, on here too. But that has CTCX. I hop on that train and make some good use. I'll give you my thoughts. I'll actually try it right now. CTCX. I'll have to send you a stake. I'll have to private message you or something if I can find a way to. We'll have to get you a stake. We'll see how this goes. So you said, yeah, they did, and it's like a lot of the generation too, man. They hit like I'm just gonna say like some of the racetracks I've seen. They've like cut the stands out because there's like nobody going to them. It's like I don't know what's going to happen in another 10 years, 15, 20 years, Are they going to be able to like continue on? I mean, I'm sure that they will. There will be somewhat of a demand for it, but it's just sad the way it's just not like it was, I mean, it kind of is, but it isn't, it's just the Dale Earnhardts, the Rusty Wallaces, I could just go on, man. Everything, like you say, it's too gimmicky, You said CTCX, right? CTCX. I'm not getting that. Damn it. Oh, it comes out tomorrow, I guess you're saying. You're saying it merges. It should already be a ticker, or it's not a ticker. TCX. And as you say that, you're right. There were a couple that opened up, and the IPO market's been going up too. So I have a couple things. So real quick, like TLT, I know a lot of people were talking about it. We got our chance. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I was like, please don't do this to me. I'm not saying that I'm going to go like swing trade TLT, but this was a stock that we were hopping on ever since 100. We said $100, we got to be long. Like, this is where you got to like just find trades where you like, if there's not much going on, or you feel like you don't like, you're not playing the news right, or whatever it is, you can have something, whether it's like you have your levels for certain things. We did it with AMD. I can tell you the levels now, 110.50, I think, 115, like 118. And so like TLT, we said at 100, we're a buyer. We're long, getting $1, $2.50 out of it, $3. Look at the range. Boom. $1, 103. 100 just in front of it. Look what happened. Boom. We're getting, it did end up tightening up, but I can always pan it back. You want to have these just so like where you can make your money. Like we said with oil, we were like USO $60, you got to be long. $60, we were hitting the long. Look at this. $60, 65. $60, $65, $60, 65. Obviously, we also have a beautiful range. Now, I'm going to be waiting for the dip. I want to see, this brings us into a trade idea, guys. Just watch like USO. So I don't trade like energy that much. I'm not like one of them who trades like energy and just oil and stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. So, yo, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you bringing it. This is what we do this for. There's sort of, I've been doing this for a month. I've always said that I was going to start streaming stuff because there's just so much junk out there. There's some good stuff out there, but you know, I just, it's okay that people can make money and make businesses and stuff out of it, but that's just not a route I'd like to go. I think there's ways that things can be done for people to just get an education, learn about CTCX, you know what I mean, and eat together without sitting through a sales pitch or, none of that junk. But there's ways that we can do things. So hopefully we can change the game. And I'm going to be working on getting a couple heads here. We'll figure out the screen share. We'll figure it out. Even if we can get a low cost barrier entry to have, a trade group that's not, a ton of money. So, guys, I want to see what USO does. Maybe it just pulls back to this range. Maybe you get like a tail down through here. But let's see if it starts to stick this 66.21 area. 65, we'll call it. We'll call it psychological number. We'll wait for it to hit the base. It may even come back down to the pennant and really give it to us. So we'll have to wait. We'll watch the volume. We'll see what's going on. I wrote it down. So you do have, what's funny about this setup is that Thursday, I think it is, you are getting inventory. All right. And it should move it. No, you are getting the stock or the oil stock right here. Crude oil stock change. All right. So I think this is going to be pretty, you want to watch this gas and oil. So this is Wednesday. So this is something we'll keep on the watch list because you're going to have Tesla. Well, you'll have ASML in the morning on Wednesday, but we want to, you'll have Tesla and then Netflix in the afternoon. So it's like, if nothing's really going on, what do we know? Well, we know we have this oil number coming out. We know we have a beautiful pennant right here. What's going down? All right. If we don't have news in the morning. So this is the lesson here is like, have a few things that you see you're putting in a range, whether it's a stock, a commodity, a bond. That way, I'm long at 100. I'm getting my $3 and I'm good. I got my money. And like I say, $3 on TLT, we're buying calls. Like, that's some change. All right. Depending on if you buy right, you can make some damn good money. So it's good to have like these type of things on watch where you're like, man, today's slow. Set an alert, whatever you have to do, depending on what goes on. So I'm going to be watching oil, guys. And let's see, 1, 2. Let's see, so if we do a percentage rate, say it bounces back and we attempt the short, 67.50 to, let's draw here. That way we can get an idea of like because you want to know like the percentage. Like what's the percentage that you're going to get from it leading into the data. And then obviously whatever the data is will depend on what the movement is. So I don't know. So we can, maybe it tests yesterday's high. What's the average range on this? This is what we want to teach here. What's the average true range? What's the average true range in a regular market? And what's the average true range in a volatile market? Tesla. We know we can get $5, $6 out of it from high to low. We know in a volatile day, we can get anywhere from 8 to 12. These are the things you need to know to become a trader, whether you want to do it full-time. Full-time doesn't mean you have a job, or it doesn't mean that just because you have a job, you're not a full-time trader. You can do this during the day and in the morning and go to work at night. You're still a full-time trader. If you're in the markets, you're in the markets. That gimmick stuff, if you're trading, you're trading. The market's open, you're trading, you're trading. It is what it is. You're a full-time trader. You don't just have to completely depend on the market. It's just one avenue to success. I think we can all be real about it. It's all what we're trying to do is eat. Speculation that, I'll read it out loud. Speculation that BGLC is going to uplist on Tuesday. It's Network One deal, which uplisted ATXG that ran from 13 to 12. 1200, that is. Oh, crazy. Talking HKD numbers. They also They also bought a bunch of low flow Chinese IPO market. You're talking my game, bro. It sounds like a lot of fun. Chinese IPO, 13 to 1200. I'm ready. Give me the volatility. I'm ready. I'm ready. But yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. The other one's the speculation that BGLC is going to uplist. We're going to see. We'll see. I'll look into it. Keep it going, BG. Or I mean, NASCAR. So if I know my average true range, this is a volatile. This is obviously a momentum type of day, but 64.40. We'll call it 64.50 to the high, 66. Is that $1.50? And where are we at here? I'm going to go to this level. I'm going to go to the lows, roughly. So the lows, 67. So we'll go 65.50. 65.50. Where does that take us? Damn. So we're going to get back. We could look for it to pull back to this level where I said. So that puts us on par. So that's 2% move. I don't trade USO that much, so maybe a 2% day is like average, and it sounds average. 1.5% to 2.5%. So, what I will also do is I wonder if this is trying to play a part, and goddamn, like if it's already touched it here, if you guys can't see it, because this would be crazy, and I don't think it's going to do this. We'll do green just so you guys can see it. And what I would do would be this. We're going to measure the move. All right. We're going to measure this move to see what could we expect. Where do we take profits off, etc., etc., etc. And let's see if this puts us somewhere. If it comes back down and hits the level. All right. Let's go to the weekly chart. Where does this take us? So that's not bad. We can expect that if that's the case. Again, why do I say this? Because it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, look at that. Like, look at that level, guys. So that's going to be the target. 75 to 76. 75 to 78 is going to be the target. And what we'll do is I'll put a little circle there so we can always go back and say that was the target. That'll be the target. All right, so that's target. Why could crude go up, guys? Because if there's speculation of a recession, they are not going to increase oil because they do not want to get stuck with it. That's also another reason why when a recession starts to come around, it really starts to come around because you have the number one commodity that the world depends on, oil. They start trying to price in as far as what they want to extract from the ground, a recession or not, and what type of recession. What's the demand? Now, obviously, they probably sign contracts and say, this country wants this, that, and then they pull it. Okay, but you could still get to a point where they start cutting before the slowdown in demand because they don't want to pull it and be left with it, and they're like, I'll give you $20 for the barrel. I don't really need it. We're not doing much over here. Because again, if you revert back to what I said, nobody has done this. From the peak, from the bottom to the top, which would be when they stopped interest rates in a rate hike cycle, it has literally been 12 to 16 months from the last rate hike is when you got the uptick in unemployment. Just go to Fred, type in Fed funds rate and unemployment, put them together, you're going to do the math. 2020, 2008, so 2020, 2008, 2000s, and the 80s, like 86, 88, or it was the early 80s, 80, 81, and then 60s, it was like 60s and 70s. It was a little discombobulated, but you could still average, and it literally, to a T, is about a year or so, and that's why we could have had this rally, because they know we have time. We have time before these, it takes some time for these rate hikes. So if you want to use a year's worth of a calculation of a year on interest rates, how much can you add up or total or come up with to say how much has came through the economy as far as interest rates? So if I go back to last year, where were we at? Let's just say we were at 2.5%. So we would say we are at 5.25 now. We still have 3.5, etc. Whatever the math is, we still have three more percent. We have 3% of interest rates that still need to cycle through the interest rate, or still need to cycle through the economy. If you want to go back 18 months, then you still got 4.5. Like we haven't even started. If you go back a year, again, we still have we still have 2%, 2.5%, 3 maybe. So just go back a year prior, go back 18 months, or go back 2 years, whatever you think. There's still some decent liquidity. And I also think that the banking system, with them adding, liquidity, or, with the Fed backstopping the banks, providing them with access to capital if they need it, really helped this market out. It really did. It really did. It's providing liquidity. I just want to say real quick, NASCAR, I appreciate all that, man. This is exactly what we're trying to do, man. So, shout out to you, man. And I'll look into it, and I see opportunity. I'm gonna be on it, and you'll have a stake your way. So let's go over the ideas, guys. So we know we have Tesla and them. Let's go through it. So I'm gonna watch. I have a few I'm watching. Obviously, I'm not really too concerned about TLT and stuff, because I think the 2-year and the 10s, I think they're just gonna hang out where they are and just slowly come down again. So you could look to be long TLT, but you want to be long. You want to, you gotta realize what you gotta minimize your expectations. Like, you get a $4 or $5 move, you got to take your profit, because it's coming back down. It's not time for TLT. The time will be when unemployment's ticking up and the market, or earnings. I just don't know how bad earnings have to be for the Fed to cut rates. So I really think it's unemployment. So unemployment, you start to see the tick up, and you're like, man, maybe you start noticing, maybe the market's pricing in, hey, we told you you're going to go too far too fast. Now here comes the unemployment starting to tick up. Then you want to brace for being long TLT for that month, 2 month, 3 month future of a Fed rate cut. So you want to get 6 month time, whatever. You want to give yourself time. But those are the things I'm going to be looking for. I'm not telling you what to do. That's what I'm going to be looking at. Like I said, or I didn't say this, but I did on stream, and I've said it in other videos, that like all these people talking about being long TLT, why? It's not time. Like, you can trade it, because like what happens is, and you guys know this, people say things on YouTube or anywhere. They read it in a column from the Wall Street Journal or Barron's or wherever they get it, TV, and one person says something, and then everybody follows it. Like, hey, I'm going to be long TLT. No, now's not the time. I mean, you can trade it. I expect the 2 years and the 2s and 10s to, at least the 2 year to pull back. So that should, you'll get your longer duration to kind of peek its head up. But the real trade is going to be when we start seeing these numbers tick up in unemployment. We got to get into these charts. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to bore you guys. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. So I told you guys what the plan was for the SPY. All right, so tomorrow, whether we have a gap down or a gap up, I have we gap down. I'm going to be looking for the lows or the close. I'm going to give it past the close. I want to see what my RSI, MACD, VOLD, ADD. I'm going to see what's going on. Because I think it's going to be an inside day. And then I'm going to look for that pivot high from the left right here to be short till, and that's a scalp. So that's a trade. That's a $1.50, $1.75 trade right there. You're getting your check. All right, and then we wait for the home runs to set up, like CTCX. All right, CTCX is going to be, don't know what it's going to be. We're going to see. It's just something to watch, and we'll get your levels. So again, if we gap down, I'm going to look for the pullback to the double bottom. I'll have my stop probably above the close. A little bit above the close. I'll see where. Maybe it ticks up to this 449. The farther it ticks up, the better. But I expect this I expect this line here to hold up, 448.90. Yeah, I'm not too bad with levels. And then if it rips, then I get a high volume rip. Then it is what it is. But if we get a gap up on the SPY tomorrow, Okay, I'm going to look for the pullback to the close. We see how we do at the close, and then the double bottom, pretty much the low of Friday, we start like bringing ourselves around with volume, and I can feel it. Then I'm going to go long at least to, I don't know, 450, 50, 450, 39, 450, 30. I'll be taking profits on the way up. This is an idea. If I find that I've missed a trade somewhere or something, whatever, but we're live. We're live right here, guys. IvyLeagueTradingYouTube.com. So again, we gap down. We look for the low and the close to be resistance, and we'll catch that down to the pivot high right here on the left. All right. Let me put up a 5-minute chart. That way it just looks a little bit cleaner. And again, the gap up, we'll look for a pullback to the close. Use low a day to take a long up to these prior pivots, like 450, 38. You know, taking profits in front of it, guys. Just getting our food, just eating. So same thing with the Qs. It doesn't change really for any of them. You know what I mean? It's not going to change. Look at that. But the thing, you guys remember, we had some decent volume. Again, we also had prior. They've been selling this. If you guys look at the SPY. Let me get to the big news real quick. So I watched, there was a gentleman that was on a thing. He works for JP Morgan. Okay. He said it, and he kind of, I could tell after he said it that he was like, maybe I shouldn't have said it, but it is, you know, it's like, it's not that big of a deal, but you know, he's got three analysts up next to him. So I seen it on the Compound and Friends. Okay, Downtown Josh Brown from CNBC. Josh Brown, if you guys don't know who he is, he's on CNBC. He's usually on around the lunchtime. And Michael Batnick. They had a guy from JP Morgan on Friday on their show. All right, and he mentioned they're going to be looking to bring down equity risk in fall. Lines right up with our target of 1 year target. You know, maybe they're thinking the same thing, because that's what they do. They look at data like that. They go through history and say this is going on, this was going on, but the probability that 12 to 18 months after the rate hike, when the rate hike stop or the peak in rates is when you get the draw up. So with him saying that, it takes them time to get in and out of positions. They want to, they don't necessarily fight for price, but they have a lot. It takes them time to draw down those positions. So saying that you're drawing down equities at fall, we're not in fall. They're not drawing down right now, so it's not a fact. It's really choppy to trade. Oh, give me a second. So I wanted you guys to see it. Once I heard it, I'm like, yeah. So that goes right in with our thesis. The big guys are talking about drawing down their size and equities, which would be stocks, in the fall. But you also have September, which is always usually seasonality. It's usually a down month. Yes, I do remember Top. I actually revisited Top. Like, if you did it take off? I did it on the live here literally like a week and a half ago to 2 weeks. For some weird reason, I literally brought up Top. I brought it up and went through the chart. It looked like it was squeezing. I remember Top from 7 to 260 in April. GMA, TBX, UTME. It's really choppy to trade. Trying to catch the move early. I'm gonna go back through these and we'll write them down. But UTME and STBX. Almost thought it was Starbucks. Dude, look at Top though. Hold up. Look at Top. Look at this. Higher lows. Starting to put in higher highs. I'm just kind of curious if this thing starts to could we get this thing to break out? What are the days? What am I on? A 15-minute chart? So it did. I think I was looking at it back here. I'm pretty sure I may have been looking. No, I wasn't. 2023, 3, 4. No, because I was just looking at it. This is the run. And right here, I've been looking at it like it looks like it could. See, now it's changing. Now I feel like it's trying to go back down the way I look at it. The way I'm seeing it, like if this level breaks, right now, if it breaks, which the probability of that happening is pretty high. Let me look at the volume and everything. Like, I don't know if anybody's talked about this, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were people. We got enough people talk. If there were enough people that like remembered this and seen this, that like, we could get another little run up. It's just, it's not putting in. It's putting in higher lows, and I feel like you got some nibblers down here. You got some nibblers. It's not much, but so, I mean, obviously it could be shorts. It could be short squeeze, or not a short squeeze, but it could be shorts just taking their whatever it is, 25 cents, 10 cents, shorting 10,000 shares, 5,000 shares, 1,000 shares, getting their 10 cents, getting their money and walking away. Kind of like what we do here with TLT and all the others. So whatever it is that feeds you, you just worry about eating. So I would not be surprised if top, I mean, you guys see what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if this thing, like, randomly out of nowhere gets another leg higher. So we also have, let me look at the 15-minute chart, because I'm wondering if we have, damn right we do. No, we don't. We do, but we don't, because it's putting in higher highs. I feel like it's shifting. I'm going to give it till Tuesday, Wednesday. See if there's a little pop or a gap up here. I'm gonna give it at least like a week. I'll give it, like, me personally, I'd say like 3 days. This thing could give you a nice little pop. But we're earning, so it might be rare that they head to this side of town. That 740 level. When it did squeeze, see NASCAR. We got it on watch. 740. You're right. I remember that level. You're right. 740. So if it does with volume, you could see this thing out of nowhere, and it looks like the volume's dying too. It was decent here. It looks like the volume's dying. It was so weird. I brought up a list, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, I can't remember when it was, but I was looking at it just not too long ago, and I'm like, dude, this thing's looking like it's ready to revert back to the upside. So let's go through the list, guys. CVNA. All right, so I got to get rid of these lines. Let's do it. So we got, this thing's been holding on. I was hoping for a pullback to $30. We never got it. We've been tailing off of this 40, this like low 40s area. 40, 43. You hit 45 or 44.50. So there's a battle going on here, and right now it feels like the Bears are winning. All right, feels like the Bears are winning. Got your tails. I just think this thing might be a little overextended. Money might be flowing into something else, and then the shorts can really take over. So I will be watching this area right here. I'm going to be watching 38. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. I could take pre-market off. I might watch it for, say, didn't. And if I get short this, I'm going to be taking profits down to this 30 area. All right, I'm going to be taking profits here at this double top, this $30 area. I'm looking for a $5 move, $6 move back down to $30 to see if we can get back down there. This is the level I've been waiting on the retest. All right, just the level I've been waiting on. It see, I wish it put in a new high, and I wish it did, in a manner that I seen on my indicators. So that's one stock I'm going to be watching. I gave you guys a SPY. Going to give you guys this one that I will be watching. Carvana. I've been watching AI also. I haven't. It feels like I've been trading these stocks for a month, because I have. We've been on them for like a month now, because it's just where we getting our money. Whatever we got to do. So let's go to we'll go to AMD. I have like big tech names up here, a few of them. And if it's getting late, you know what I mean, join us. We're live Monday through Friday. All right, right here on YouTube, 7:30 to 4. We're going to cover earnings calls, that is, and I'm going to be on them. We'll be on them if you guys would like to join and listen. But banks, that'll be perfect for the lunchtime. It gets boring at times, but see, a lot of people don't listen to earnings, and it messes them up because, like, if you listen to Meta's earnings, you could have caught the downside to Meta. And when I say we listen to our earnings, we don't just listen to see what happened with the company. You got to read the tea leaves. All right, you got to read the tea leaves in it that could give you a trade for the sector, the market itself. Okay. Do they give you expectations on when they think a recession's coming? So they're doing this because of their data, this, that, the third. So it's not just about their business. It's more about the tea leaves that are in those earnings. Okay. Even when it comes to certain companies, if a company is changing products like Meta and the original business model worked and now they're changing it, market doesn't know what they're not going to price in. Oh, okay. It hasn't proved itself yet. No, market's going to say you haven't proved yourself. What you had was a big hit. Now we know, obviously, Meta and Mark Zuckerberg was right about Meta. The stuff that you could do. They made it, they released it, innovation happened. The stuff you can do with like surgical stuff and like TVs, movies, all that stuff. Courtside seats and stuff. So that's why you had that big pullback. And if you would have known the tea leaves, what are the tea leaves? I'm just going to use Meta again as an example. All he did was talk about Meta. Not one word about Facebook and what happened the very next quarter. Boom, done. Didn't want to talk about Facebook. Literally, Meta. And I'm like, okay. Is Facebook that bad? That means it's like, whoa, what's going on with Facebook? Like, what's going on with the original business model that worked? What are you not telling us? Those are the tea leaves that I'm telling you. We'll get into that when we get into earnings. If something like that happens, So this is another part of trading that, it takes time to even know these type of things. But, the more time, the more education you get, it's, time in the market it plays a big factor. So AMD had just about everything had a pretty not bad day, but it had a mean reversal. All right, I think I traded Tesla 4 times. I scalped it 3 times. I was looking to be long Tesla, but in the morning it just gave you the push and pull. It put in the double bottom and then was off. You had to be on it. So I played that whole rally, and it's going to go into the video I'm going to put out I scalped it. I knew the type of trade I was trading. It wasn't like a day-long trade. It was just I was scalping it. I was not alerting it or letting it. I did say, hey, I am in Tesla, and I boom, it would go. I'd take my 10. Well, really, it was like 13.7. It's like 13% profit, just roughly around each time, 13 to 17% on those options. And then it flipped the script on me, and then I just stopped myself out and we move on. So AMD, guys, let's look at it. I got to clean these charts up, and I'm going to do them tonight. So let's go over AMD real quick. It's getting late. It's already 11 o'clock. And it's just a couple people on. 73 minutes. So AMD did hold this. Look at this nasty tail on the daily, guys. Look at that nasty tail. So AMD's been a laggard, but what do we see here? Let me zoom out. What do you guys see here, guys? I'm going to be looking for AMD short. I can already tell you right now. I'm going to want AMD short. That's going to be on the list. It's always on the list, but look at that candle, guys. The weekly candle did close green. Look at the daily candle, guys. Look at the sell-off that came in on that. Look at that. It held the level. So what do we got? What did we say? 115.75, 116. 115.50. Because the daily is going to be a little off. So it's 115.50 roughly. We pulled back. And Thursday, I said on the live, long AMD. Because I was looking for the gap up. And I think it pulled back and then rallied. So probably would have, you would have had to hold on. You didn't want to play weeklies on that. Look at that tail. Look at the volume, guys. This is what you guys need to see. Back here, you look at your MACD. We put in a high. We pull back. Put in a new high with a lower MACD RSI. That's bearish divergence. Bearish divergence. So let's go to the 15-minute chart real quick, guys. And then I would like to get AMD back down. I can tell you right now where my targets are going to be. My target's going to be back down here to 112. If I can get AMD back down to 112, that would be sweet. That would be a nice home run trade. You know, it may take a day or two, but I'll be looking for it. It put in a double top, so it may not give you the big move on Monday. It might. It might not, though. I wouldn't expect it to do something. Because at the end of the day, it opened up. It closed where it opened, and then regained it pre-market or after hours. Actually, it regained it at the end of the day. So the initial morning low still held. So there are some nibblers. Oh, but look at it. It was on low volume. Look at that volume. That's bad. That's not good, guys. So yes, it is good actually. We're going to be looking to go short AMD. Where do we get our entries? It all depends on what we do tomorrow. All right. It all depends on if we gap up, if we gap down. So I will go over that analysis on where is the entry to go short. I can tell you, if you get back up to 118, you get up to this 118, this double bottom here. You get back up here to this 118 double bottom, we're short. All right. I mean, obviously, you get like some news and you get some massive volume, then you might want to rethink that. You might want to rethink it. But the target will be 112. Target will be 112. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, let's just see what happens tomorrow, whether we gap down. Because if we gap down, then I'm going to look for I'm going to want to be short the bounce backs. All right, I'm going to want to be short the bounce back. Let's do this. All right, because a lot of times I will mainly focus without pre-market. So if we gap down, hold support. Let's say we pull back. Say we pull back to 114.82, 114.85, and we pull back. We get the bounce. Look for the close or the low of day to be resistance. Okay? Maybe we get short in this 116, 116.50. Nah, it's like $1 range. So, you just have this. The thing is that you just really have this pivot top here as resistance, other than this and this. So it's like this became support. This was resistance. Let me show you what I'm doing here. Resistance, resistance, support. So this is where it gets past 116.75. Call it 117 because it could wick past it. Now on a 3-minute, not a 2-minute, not a 1 or 2 minute, but a 3-minute, 5-minute, you want to see a close up above this level. If you get a close up above here, then watch out. The probabilities are greater now that it's going to go higher. So that was AMD. Again, we're going to wait till we open to see what it is we want to do. Microsoft. That was the other one. All right. It's up at all-time highs. All right. Up at all-time highs, putting in a double top on the daily. Boom, boom. And what do we have? All right. We have a lower RSI. We have a MACD curling down. You did bounce off the trade line. Okay. You did do that. And what also did we have? You have a pennant here, which is, it's an ascending wedge. Okay. That's a bearish reversal. It's a reversal pattern is what it is. To the upside, it comes to the downside. If it's to the downside, it goes, it's a reversal pattern. Let's go to the daily real quick. All right. You guys see the head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. All right. It tried to bounce up and out, tried to trick everybody. I wonder what the XLK is. I'm going to go right back to Microsoft, but XLK. I got to get ready and get up off here so I can get some sleep because we have earnings. This is a huge week. We literally are covering everything. These earnings cover the entire market. I think we have healthcare, technology, industrials, banks, airlines, fintech. All right, we have probably all you may even have them, but you have gold like miners like they won't be in the most anticipated, but um you have like goods like JP Hunt or CSX and JB Hunt. So we're going to want to see what those people have to, or those companies have to say as well. All right. um what are they seeing as far as goods, as far as transferring goods? Are they getting more of like material things? Are they getting more of like retail side stuff? JB Hunt would obviously be the retail. CSX would probably be for your coal, your stones, your cars, and things of that nature. They don't really use a train to transport retail goods like your clothes and your Xboxes and stuff like that. Um, I want to watch PNC. I told you guys that. What else do we have? I want to look at Meta. You have ASML. So let's look at semiconductors. We are going to want to see what, depending on Wednesday, and we'll get to it the further we go down the week. No. Why will it not move? I'm not understanding. Shoot. I'm sorry. I just had this earning thing up here. It's probably just taking time. We have Nokia. No. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, guys. This thing's just messing up on me. You gotta be kidding me. This has gotta be a joke. This has gotta be a joke. That's so funny. Alright, so I went over AMD. We went over that. Carvana, we went over. Like I said, we've been trading Carvana and AI, so we already know our levels. We've been trading them for a while. Look at Google. Google broke out. Okay. Google ended up breaking out, and it. I haven't looked yet, but I want to see if it did it pull back like the rest of the market on Friday. It had a little pullback. It put in its tail also. Right there at all-time highs on the weekly. Not all-time highs, but yearly highs. So we'll have to see what happens with the market. I think we'll have like an inside type of day tomorrow, but it's coming, guys. It's coming. I wanted to bring up 2 years, the dollar. So you guys want to watch the dollar, okay? You want to watch the dollar and see what happens with the dollar to give you kind of an indication on what's going on with equities. All right, it's important. Why will this not move? Now it wants to move. That's so funny. So we're on our 15-minute chart. Where did it close pre-market? So this level here, it's equities, show, boom, boom. And I think I covered everything with you guys. I may end up getting ready to go for, I told you guys that from FactSet had put this, they didn't put it out, but it's just, they did. This is from FactSet. Analysts are expecting a 7% decline in S&P 500 earnings from 1 year ago. Okay. United Airlines, their pilots reached a deal with the company to have a 40% raise over the course of 4 years, up to 40%. Sony signed a 10-year agreement with Microsoft to keep Call of Duty on its gaming console, its platform. We have the crude stuff. We have retail sales. We have a lot of data also coming out with earnings. So funny, retail sales with earnings. Kind of funny. Let's bring up. I want to bring up Bitcoin, guys. Did Bitcoin break that level? I'm really wondering because it may shoot up top. This was the thumbnail. All right. This was the thumbnail that we used today. It rejected again. watch Bitcoin. All right, watch Bitcoin. So what I like to do is, in the beginning of the year, all right, the end of December into Christmas time into the end of December, Bitcoin was literally leading the market to a T a day ahead of it. It's like a day ahead of it. At least the S&P or the Qs. All right, on that rally. And then when the base got put in the S&Ps and then Bitcoin fell and then the markets rallied. But we got to watch the dollar, because what's the dollar going to do? It's going to give us trades for gold, silver, possibly even oil, Bitcoin. Okay, I want to watch this level on Bitcoin. This is a big level, guys. This 30,000 to 35, not 35, but 30,500. All right. I want to watch this 30,000 level on Bitcoin. I want to see if this was a failed attempt to go higher or if it's still just continuing to put in the base. I feel like it's putting in the base, or if I start to see this thing start to pull back before the market, then I'm going to have somewhat of a leading indicator to say, hey, Bitcoin's, cracked the base and didn't just wick down. All right, which would, there's a difference between closing below with momentum and volume than just going down and coming right back up. All right, so that's going to be important. I know you guys probably can't really see it. See with this, I got to put up the hourly because we had the weekend. So this area is going to be, just keep an eye on it. You guys can see here, it's putting in a base. Does this break? Okay, this level right here, the 30,000 level. All right, 29,875 is where I have this, but just at the bottom of this base. All right. I think I just moved it, but whatever, I don't care. Yeah, I think I did move it. It's what it is. I don't know. Whatever. Well, now for sure I moved it. Let's see. How do I... I'm not going to worry about it right now. I know it used to be able to just do it right off of there to where you could take it. Yeah, right here. All right, right there. There it is. Good deal. So notice if this was a failed attempt to go higher. Now it's putting in a base. That's bringing in new money. It's holding up. If it's going sideways, that's, you're all right. You just don't want it to break to the downside. But it's putting in a rally at this level right at earnings. And what else is there? Like, this was the level that... I want the daily. What is it doing? There we go. Guys, look at that. This is the level right here. This monstrosity of a rally. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that volatility. That's nuts. This is the base. So can it crack this level and hold it? Does it crack 30 and hold it and move up to 35 and then 40? Can we get to 40? 40 should be the target. This is a nice rally up. Pulled back rally. Nice pullback rally. Now it's got to hold here first. But if we continue to hold here, I feel like we're going to make the next leg higher. I feel like we can make the next leg higher. And I'm going to be looking for 37. We break it. I'm going to be looking for 37.5. 37.5. That's going to be my target for Bitcoin. All right, for now. And then let it chop sideways and just get a nice... We'll see. It all depends on the dollar. It all depends on the dollar. So you guys got to keep an eye on the dollar. Maybe I got to see what the dollar is doing in comparison with the SPY, like on a daily basis, like as far as like a 5 minute. Like, is the dollar leading the SPY in a way, or because I've used IWM, I've used the dollar, I've used Bitcoin to make trades. It's kind of like arbitrage, kind of, if you can find it, because it does happen. It's just what is it? It's usually going on. I've used Bitcoin. I've used IWM. I've used NASDAQ. I've used the dollar. Those are the 3 or 4 that I have used in the past. The dollar, because a while ago, if you guys remember, roughly around the beginning of the year, like even going into last year, we were trading the SPY off of the dollar. The dollar was ripping and pulling back. We were trading the SPY off of the dollar. We used Bitcoin. All right, the end of the year, it was like this. It was like Christmas and into New Year's of this year that we were using Bitcoin. It was a day ahead, and yeah. So keep your eyes on the dollar. If you guys want to, you can trade this too. UUP is the ticker for the dollar. It's a good way to hedge. Matter of fact, Stanley Druckenmiller is short the dollar right now. Now, does that mean he has a position on long? Is he long the market and short the dollar as a hedge? Nobody knows, but he's short the dollar. So, and why is that? Because he feels, yields will be pulling back in the next 6 to 10 months. I feel like. I think 6-10 months we get that pullback in yields. That's like a mean pullback where it comes from Powell. So, that's all we got tonight, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm sorry that I was on here so long. Let's see how long this stream was. It was an honor. Thank you guys for letting me, taking your time out of the day. An hour and 31 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. That's not too bad. Thanks for joining us. If you found any of this information valuable, if you could, please give us a like, a subscribe. That would be awesome. I'm trying to get to 100 likes. That's where we're trying to get to. If you found this information valuable, it takes a lot of work, from the analysis to getting the stream together, the thumbnail, the writing, the this, the that, the third. If you want to make money, come join us Monday through Friday, Ivy League Trading, youtube.com. We're live from 7:30 in the morning till 4 p.m. We're going to be going over earnings. We're going to be on earnings calls, all right, at the right time. In afternoons, maybe during lunchtime. We'll see which one we want. We've got data coming out this week. We have earnings. You have earnings this week that cover the whole market, okay? Literally covers the whole market. That's all. If you could, give us a like. I'm trying to get to 100 likes. It takes a lot of work to put this stuff out, and it's free 99. So if that means something to you, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys get some sleep. Get ready for another volatile couple weeks. It's on. Like this is not normal, so you need to take advantage of it while it's here. And if you don't know, I just told you, 7:30 to 4, if not longer, because we're going to be going over earnings 7:30 till whenever. We're live on YouTube Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. YouTube.com, Ivy League Trading. We'll see you there. You guys have a great night. I'll be looking forward to your questions and your tickers tomorrow morning.